So this is a story for my single fellas. Hell, it might even be a story for some of us that are married too, if you catch my drift. But we're gonna get into it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
A new article from Business Insider seems to be good news for some bachelors. Some single men are actually benefiting from the so called male loneliness epidemic. Nice guys who have basic social skills and a job seem to have more romantic options than ever, especially on dating apps. But with a seemingly dwindling pool of eligible men, most women are having the opposite dating experience. So, for more on this, I want to bring in Business Insider senior correspondent Amanda Hoover.
So let's see if we can't get it right. He's saying that men have it made, basically, that there are more women out there to date than there are men. So dudes can take advantage. Uh, Guys can pick and choose who they want. They can play the field, clap cakes, see who they like, see whose attitude they like. And if they don't like it, they say, just move on. We're going to move on to the next one. And then the next one and the next one until they figure out which one they want. I guess that's what he's trying to say. And women there don't have that same experience because let's just be honest. They say what half the men, I know, I guess black men, like only half the black men have babies, but yet 65 to 75 women have children, which means that these women are having children by the same guys, which means they are dating the same guys. Hell, I saw a video one time where they said that in Atlanta, they had this Facebook group, like trying to call out these men who are dating multiple women. And there was actually a situation where multiple women found out they was all dating the same man. And you had women on there who said that they were not going to stop seeing this dude. Imagine that.
To talk more about this, and
And this article really isn't this is a new story on Good Morning America, but this is not like a new article because I think this article was written last year. I believe so, and from the Business Insider. But we'll get into the article here shortly too, because we gotta hit the sources. You know how we do around here.
Amanda, you open your story up by describing a dating experience you had with a man that seemed to be going great until you saw his apartment and it wasn't what you expected. Tell us about that and how it inspired you to write this story.
Yeah, this was last summer. I met a guy, nice guy, good job, fun to hang out with, all of that. Went on a couple of dates. But ultimately, when I saw his apartment, I saw that he kind of had a futon in several pieces that he had to put together when I arrived. He had like a light bulb hanging from the ceiling that was a little interrogation room vibe. And then I think, what really resonates in this story for a lot of people was the kind of this like shirt cut into pieces as a curtain. And it was just clear to me that, the basics that most adults do to maintain an inviting living space, these weren't things that were being prioritized here.
Sound like you was dating Dexter. I think did yourself a favor by getting up out of there because that dude sound like a doggone me serial killer. If his house was like that, a lot of times people try to say, I've heard stories in the past, always trying to say that how men like live nasty and dirty. I don't than women. I haven't witnessed anything like that in my lifetime. No, I take that back. I do have oh Lord have mercy. I do have one family member. That was a guy whose room growing up, he's a little older than me, whose room was and who's terrible. I mean, guys, I don't know how it is now, but in his younger years, yeah, his room was a hot mess. But other than that, I've never been a slouch. My dad's never been a slouch. I say compared to the women, men have always seemed to be more cleaner. Well, let's say not necessarily clean. I mean more like tidy up better. I mean, toilet seat may not be the cleanest. I mean, let's be honest on that one. Dishes and stuff may not be washed, but they'll all be in the sink. Cups might not be clean, but if I'm gonna use this cup, I'm gonna put it on the table. I'm gonna put it to the side because I'm coming back for it. lot of times women want to grab something, and if they do put it in the sink, they're gonna put, they won't put all dishes in the sink, but then leave them there forever. But like, no, if I don't ate a bowl of cereal, I don't eat cereal no more. If I ate a bowl of cereal, I just rinse it out, put it in the refrigerator. Use it again tomorrow. Same thing with a cup. Drink out of a cup. You know what I'm saying? Rinse it out, put it on the side. I'm drinking out of it later on. You know what I'm saying? Don't need nothing. Don't no need for wasting dishes. Shoot, I even use styrofoam when I was single. You know what I'm saying? Styrofoam, everything, paper, plastic, everything, because I wasn't really trying to wash dishes. Clean my tub out maybe once a week, but because I take a shower. I'm just saying this is back, like I say, back in the day. But like I say, might clean, but I take showers all the time. Clean it out like when I was doing visitation when my kids come over. Then wash it over, wash it out. But everything was always in its place. It wasn't scattered all over the place, just nasty. So even when she talking about his place, she said he had a light that was hanging, a futon needed to be put together, and he had like a shirt that made curtains. Hell, I done had blankets hanging up on my window before. You know what I'm saying? For a curtain, really just to block the light out. Don't feel like going to feel like buying no bunch of curtains, because a lot of times I say for myself, when I was staying by myself or single in my single days, especially depending on where I was at in life, I wasn't trying to get comfortable. If you know what I'm saying. I had company come over saying, "Man, why don't you put up pictures?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to get too comfortable. Why don't you get some new furniture? Get you a better vacuum cleaner. For what? Curtains for what? You know what I'm saying? Better bookcase." No, I'm not trying to know, because I'm not trying to be comfortable. I got a plan. And if I get too comfortable, I'll mess around and not leave. I don't want it to look too homely. You understand what I'm saying? But once I got through school, got the degrees, got money, got a house, and now things are different now. But back then, I had like a little 1-bedroom apartment with a fold out couch bed for my kids and stuff like that. Nah, player, I wasn't trying to be comfortable there. I wanted to know that I'm walking into a building that I know I'm struggling. But anyway, she said, "Do have a nice job." She didn't say exactly what he was making, but no. The next thing is, if y'all only went on a couple of dates, why? Like I say this hypocritically, you know what I'm saying? Hindsight's 2020. Are you going to a dude's house after a couple of dates? But people are trying to hurry up and get into relationships and trying to find that mate, which I mean, I get it. You're getting older, you're getting a little desperate. You need to hurry up and settle down. I get it. But women, you got to be careful. You got to be careful with these guys, because you don't know these guys. I mean, you met them on what she said. He said you met them on like a internet website, a dating site. Then we have a sister maybe last year or so who met a guy on like an internet dating site, and next thing you know, she's missing, and then they find her body's chopped up all over town. Ladies got to be more careful than that, man.
Here.
Gotcha. Well, and so look, the takeaway here is that for guys, it doesn't have to be that hard. But I mean, you say if dating is a numbers game, the math isn't adding up. And I'm curious, I mean, what exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I think a lot of women that I spoke to felt. But also we see it in the data. There are more women going to college and getting advanced degrees than men are. Women are more likely to talk to their close friends about.
Let's look at these numbers right quick, then we'll go back. It said the numbers behind dating: 25% of both young men and women held bachelor's degrees in 1995. Now, I'm not sure. Well, I'm gonna say it like this: you're putting together two things that don't match. Why does a bachelor's degree determine if you're going to date or not? Or a college degree determine you're going to date or not? That I'm not really understanding. I know what she's trying to do. You have this whole thing, this feminist thing about women got more degrees than men, and they're more successful than men, got more houses than men, single women got more houses than single men, all that kind of stuff that's really irrelevant. I ain't gonna say it's irrelevant, but not really important depending on the circumstance, because I'm one to say that, number one, if a woman is in school, it would be best for her to try to find somebody she's in school with and try to date. Now, it may work out, it may not, because nowadays, shoot, even dudes that go to school, they kind of flaky. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that foundation, their home foundation, like they should, like more men probably did in my time or time before, knowing how a family is supposed to run and know how a husband should be, how a wife should be, and you know, what I'm saying, like I said, know how the family dynamic should be, and we'll say, hey, we're gonna go to school, get our degrees, and then once we graduate, we'll get married, you know, work our jobs for a few years, get to know each other, learn each other first, work hard, pay, you know, get settled financially, and then have children. I get it on that point because you got a lot of people nowadays who having babies who ain't got no degree, no money, no nothing, but steadily having kids and trying to live off the government and us, our tax dollars. So, but like I say, it's what I say, 47% of women and 37% of men aged 25 to 34 had bachelor's degrees in 2024. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I've told y'all this many a times. I got an associate's, but didn't plan on going back to school because of what I was doing, making good money. And I'm telling you right now, I probably make more money than a lot of people, a lot of women with bachelor's degrees right now, because I just leveled up every time I could to maximize my earning potential. But now I'm at a point to where I think I know I'm going to have to go back to school to get to a level that I to get to another level. I'm gonna have to. If I want to stay on this level, then nah, I ain't got to go back. Not no time soon. At least I don't think so. But to get to the level I want to get to in corporate America, if I plan on staying in nursing like I am, I'm gonna have to go back to school to make more money. But no, I don't have a bachelor's degree. And again, like I say, I feel like I know I'm probably making more money than a lot of these women who got bachelor's degrees. So it ain't the degree, it's what the degree is in. You know, is your degree sought after. Hell, just did a video not too long ago about how a lot of white collar jobs are about to be done away with thanks to AI. And these youngsters can't find work now. They got degrees and can't find work, and you wonder why. Was it because the degree you got in can be taken by the degree you got in the jobs, the degree plan you got can be taken by AI, can be taken by you can be replaced by robots. We replaced before you even get in it. So this is why I tell people, hey, whatever degree field you get in, look and see what the dynamics are with AI, artificial intelligence, because you're going to need that at some point.
Really deep and meaningful things in their lives, while men are maybe more likely to talk about events in the news. Deep and meaningful are more likely to talk to their close friends about really deep and meaningful things in their lives, while men are maybe more likely to talk about events in the news. So we see
That's
this
true.
disconnect happening where women are looking for certain things and there aren't.
Let me see. When I'm more likely to have, I'm likely to men have close friends with whom they talk about personal topics, work, family, and health. Uh, I think they changed. Why they got a picture of the girl? You can see the bottom of her cheeks. What is this? This an AI picture? Amazing, amazing. This is the smallest one, not the one with the who got the like the round hand. But anyway, sorry, got distracted by AI picture. Ain't that some? But uh, I know this is a belief that women are more likely to talk to close friends. They probably are. But I think that dynamic is changing. And I think that dynamic is more different than what people think. Women will tell, I'm gonna tell you, women do tell their business. That is one thing they will do. They will tell their business no matter what. They got a bad habit of wanting to tell all their business, even to their man. They might tell a dude about, some other dudes they done dated. And dudes be like, ain't nobody trying to hear all that. I don't want to hear nothing about your dude. But anyway, like I said, women will tell each other, but they talk more for validation. That's what they talk more about. When they talk about their life, they talk about they want someone. If you're gonna talk back, you're gonna understand what they're saying. You're gonna agree with them and get behind what they're saying. Well, so they'll talk to other women. But on the other hand, men, if we talk, if we listen to a woman talk, we are trying to figure out a way. Okay, we listen to a situation. We're looking for a problem and to see how to fix that problem, how to fix the issue. So that's how we'll think. And when we're talking to each other, we'll talk about our marriage, we'll talk about relationships to other guys and things we're going through and stuff like that. But when we do it, you know what I'm saying? We know that each other, we're going to say, hey, well, this is, man, I done went through this and this is how I handled it. Or this is how I mean, oh man, I don't know if I handled it like that. Oh man, you gotta look like that. And we will understand with each other and we will take that information and ride with it. You see what I'm saying? But women more talk to each other about not necessarily getting an answer or to fix anything, mainly with validation, going back and forth, seeing who got, who can tell a better story.
Aren't enough men, that are kind of like them. If a woman's
That is crazy. That this is a news. I never noticed this. That this is a dang on news. I'm just want y'all to look at this. That this is a news outlet, and these are like young girls. And this one over here on the left, you can see like the bottom of her cheeks. And I think this is a AI picture. Why I think that? Because I done put in stuff in this Vio 3 software AI stuff. You can put in the whole scenario and it'll create any picture you want. Damn near. Or any video that you want. And it looks like human beings and they talk like human beings. It is crazy.
gone to college, she might want a man who's gone to college and works in a similar and that are kind of like them. If a woman's gone to college, she might want a man who's gone to college and works in a similar field or has similar aspirations to be an equal partner.
And that also, and this is probably AI too, y'all, while y'all looking at this, but anyway, that goes for everything. The term water seeks its own level is legitimate. And I say it all the time. So it's not just about women who go to college, want to do to go to college. You got women who don't want nothing, will kick with a dude who don't want nothing, who ain't really got nothing. Women who got the mindset from the streets are going to want a guy who got the mindset from women. Women seek comfortability. And so if they're trying to do things in their life, they eventually, when they level up their life, now let's say when they was young, they out in the streets, doing whatever they want to do out there, living out there, hanging with whoever, doing whatever. But when they get older, get maturer, now they looking for a guy who's actually ready, who wants to settle down and be with somebody, be with a family, not necessarily a ready-made family, but want to be with somebody. They looking for that guy, but a lot of times that guy they looking for is already taken. Which goes to my point is I don't want to make that point right now. Let me finish this video first. But like I say, water seeks its own level on all aspects, whether you got education, not educated or whatever. People like to hang around people with their same mindset. That's just it.
And the data just shows that women are kind of excelling in a lot of areas as they've become more independent and able to work. They're not really willing to settle, and the men aren't necessarily keeping pace in a lot of these metrics.
Well, and I'm curious, I mean, what are
And I think women be probably trying to settle. I don't know. 'Cause like I say, most time I think dudes settle earlier. Like if they go on to school, got a degree in a career, shoot, they are like, men want families. Men want to have a legacy. And sometimes I think men do it earlier than women do, or they aren't as reckless as women are when it comes to relationships. Like I say, you won't see, there's not a lot of guys with a lot of children just out there all willy nilly. You have some, but most of them, like I said earlier, don't have money. Ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't really trying to do nothing. They ain't doing nothing. So they got plenty of time to get out there and get the hunching. Women, on the other hand, will, for some reason, like I say, have children with multiple dudes. But they have children, you know what I'm saying? But it's like men will not do that. But you will have women having multiple children with multiple dudes, but it's the same guys. Because the guys that have kids, they'll have multiple kids with multiple women. You see what I'm saying? But there's not a lot of guys that have children. It's not adding up. You seeing what I'm saying? So it's so like I say, by the time these women get their degrees, ready to settle down, or not even have degrees, get a certain age, want to settle down, but they got kids, more kids, it's harder for them to find the man that they feel now that they want and or deserve, because those guys at her age or the same age or older already got a family, already started a family, and you know what I'm saying, and don't want to deal with her no more. wanted to deal with her back in the day when it was first in high school, first in college, first trying to make things happen, but didn't have nothing. She like, well, shoot, if I'm gonna deal with somebody who ain't got nothing, I'm gonna deal with that exciting guy. I'm gonna deal with that guy who looks like a thug or out here on these streets. You know what I'm saying? Got the respect of the streets. While you up here ain't got nothing, but you got a job. Or you trying to go to school. You ain't doing nothing with your life. But then 10 years from now, he done accomplished his goals and steady growing while this guy's still where he was 10 years ago. Now you saying, oh, this dude ain't doing nothing, but this guy's doing something great. Let me go find him. Too late. It's too freaking late. And now you upset saying you can't get the man that you deserve.
For some of the
Or there's not enough eligible guys out there. Well, shoot, it ain't. But the bachelors, the guys that are bachelors, shoot, there's plenty of women out there now that he can pick and choose from. Then you get mad at him when he don't pick you.
surprising things that stood out to you about the current state of dating for both men and women that you talked to?
Yeah, I think one of the things that was the most surprising was I spoke to a lot of people that were more in their 30s or early 40s. You know, if you're in your 20s and you're dating, maybe some of this resonates with you. That's also a time when maybe not as many people are looking for a serious relationship. So what I found is that the men I spoke to who are doing quite well, either dating casually while they're looking for a serious relationship, maybe trying both, they said that they're having a lot of fun, whether it's using dating apps, meeting people through friends, meeting people in public. And the women I spoke to are not having fun. They say that dating used to be fun in their 20s. And this was really surprising for some of the men that these women aren't having fun. And it's, you know, the women feel really frustrated. They feel like it's hard to find somebody that checks off the boxes that they want. And there's just this disconnect happening.
Because let me tell you like this. One thing about men that what we know, and women, y'all can speak on this from y'all standpoint, because I'm just giving my opinion about how y'all thinking. We know that what we know today and how we feel today can change tomorrow because we know it's a process. We understand life is a process. Life is a growth. Like I said, in your 20s, you know, you might want to sow your royal oat, well, you sow your oats, get out there in the streets, get all of, you know, teens, 20s, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to date, you know what I'm saying, all the bad females. And then you keep moving around. By the time you're in your 30s and 40s, now you're thinking about legacy. And so you're dating, but you're still having, you know what I'm saying, but you can still have fun. It's because you know that if a man knows he is financially secure in his ways, it's easy for him to date somebody and then say, I don't want to deal with her no more, and then just drop off and go look for the next one. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? He going until he can find what he wants. Women, on the other hand, they understand that in order to get married, the man has to choose who he wants to marry most time, not the women, but the women want to be married too. So now they don't play it in their 20s, 30s, or whatever, in their prime years, as they say. And now you're at the age where you want to settle down. But again, these guys, most of the guys have already settled down or settling down, got them a family, got them a woman, whatever, might got them somebody who's younger or what have you. And now you out there all alone, which brings me to biblical stories. And for those of us who believe in the Bible and stuff like that, you know, there are stories where men would have multiple wives. Now you got women who say, why can't women do that? Well, try to find out. See, well, that's a whole that's a whole deeper topic that I'm not gonna get into right now. But you're gonna get to a point where it seems like if it keeps going the way it's going, women, you gotta understand, you gotta know how to play the rules, play the game by the rules. Because if you keep doing the way you're doing with the feminism, with the I got 5 degrees, you know what I'm saying? I got my own house, own car, stuff like that. But when we look at the data, we understand that you got a house and your interest rate, your payment is high, your interest is high. You got a car, your payment is high, your interest is high, your insurance is high. We understand what it is. We as men understand what it is out there, how it is out there in the streets, which is why you will have more women have houses than single men, because single men like, I ain't finna do that right now because it's gonna cost too much. I don't want that responsibility. I'm trying to do something else. I will eventually get that house. Once I get a family, then I will get that house. I don't need a house right now as a single person because it just don't make sense to me at this point. Like I say, there are levels of this, and there's different levels of thinking. But as women get older, it's about you. If you keep this up and you're looking for stability, and you find that there's not a lot of guys out there with these degrees, as you say, or making this money, what you're going to find is you're going to have women who are going to start settling and going to start being open to being part of a stable for these men. Like, seriously, I mean, it sounds crazy. And I don't want to say it in a bad way, but it's like not necessarily for the sexual part. And people always want to think marriage is like strictly for the sexual part. Not for the sexual part, but for the stability. To say, hey, this man has enough money, enough resources to take care of me. I will allow him to claim me. And he can have a house or a bunch of little houses in the back, and I will live there, and I will claim this man as my husband, as my man, and be part of. I don't want to say a harem because that sounds bad, but as a flock or a harem, I said hell, I would say harem as one of his many wives because I don't want to be out here. I've made these bad choices. I'm out here drowning. Don't know what to do. This is what I have to do, and I'm fine with that. That will happen, ladies, if you don't get it right. If you don't play the game like it's supposed to be played. Women, if you want to be a wife, you're supposed to be a help meet, not trying to run things, not trying to control things because it's not working. It seemed like it was working there for about 10 minutes, but truthfully, just sit back, look at the data, AI, Chat GPT, Gemini, or whatever you want to do, but it's not working the way that you think it's working. And in the end, you're going to make it to where the men are going to really, really be on top, really run everything, and a lot of y'all not going to like it. You don't like it now. Hey, you didn't like it at first, which is why you want to get out there and do something. But you got women now that want to. I'm gonna tell you like this here. When you're young, I'm just gonna say this. When you're young, you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You want to do it all. You want to do everything that men do. But then when you get older, and I've seen it a lot of times, women say they get tired. Basically, bottom line, what I'm saying, they get tired, and now they want to be kept. Now they want to have a man. They want to be a pick me because it's hard out here. It ain't like they thought it was gonna be. But again, it's just gonna be harder because you're gonna either find a dude again who ain't really doing much, but you just happy to have a guy and somebody that can just help you a little bit, or you find a guy who can help you 100%, but you have to understand that you may not be the only one. Let's finish this. Good Lord, I keep messing up. Let's finish this out.
Well, I think it's a fascinating piece, and you got a couple of laughs in the newsroom, just kind of going through some of these anecdotes. But I do think it's actually going to help a lot of people. So, Business Insider senior correspondent Amanda Hoover, thank you so much.
And like I said, I mean, I'm not going to go through the article. I was going to read some of the article, but the video went a little longer than I would like for it to have. But it's a link to the article. I'll put the link in the description box. Y'all can read it. But yeah, she talks about she went on a date. Let's say 6 feet tall. Say she was on Hinge, attractive guy, interesting job and hobbies. Asked him to date. He said he was over 6 feet. Went on a second date, then a third. Everything's going well. Then she said it changed when she saw his apartment. Now that's interesting. Now that I think about it, because you saw his apartment, like I say, it sounded like he probably was a serial killer. But you saw his apartment, and he was like, he wasn't trying to fix up. But you know what? Could have been a test. It could have been a test to see how you would react to where he lived. Because who knows? That may not even been his apartment. That might have been somebody else's place. So he might have just did that just to see how you would. Because we want a woman that's going to be down from day one and going to be about us from day one, not somebody who wants us strictly for money and prestige, but somebody who wants us for who we are, understand who we are, and see that there's still growth in the person and in a relationship, and you can be like, hey, I can be part of that because I see where he's at and I see where he's trying to get to, and I can help him with that, and we can help each other with that. Could have been what it is. Say she say what she said a few times on the floor. He quickly assembled the body, but it had no legs. I mean, hell, don't matter, man. Just got somewhere to sleep. So I guess he was trying to let him clap them cakes, but he didn't have a real bed, so she felt some type of way. Okay. In lieu of a TV, a laptop was perched precariously near the futon shambles. A naked light bulb hung from the ceiling, giving a space in the interrogation room. Bob had a plaid shirt, disembodied into three pieces and strung across the window as a makeshift curtain. A horror. My best friend later named the shirt tain. Amazing. And it's trademarked. Amazing. Mm, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all keep it public clean. Told me I just saw you as a whole person for the first time. Only they broke up. I'm gonna let y'all read this. I'm gonna let y'all read this yourself. Like I said, there's a lot in here. It's an interesting article. Think y'all will like it. But thing is, bottom line is, men are having a field day now. They're reclaiming their title, trying to run things, make it, doing things the way we want to do. We know now, like, let's say, once you get that money, once you get that degree, once you get that status, women are going to be flocking. Men, there's always been a saying that you chase money, you'll never run out of women, but if you chase women, you will definitely run out of money. That's a saying that will never die. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. If you'd like to support us financially, you can always get a super thanks, super chat, super stickers, and you can go to the description box where there are a couple of links there you can click on and help support us that way. Now, if you would like something tangible for your dollars, which a lot of people do, you can go to marlonmorale.com, hit our Shopify store. Both links are also in the description box, or you can just hit the shop button below and just check out all our luxury products where we have beard products. We have fragrances that last all day. We got silk products, handbags, much more. Check it out. You would not be disappointed. But with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.